Dr. Umar Johnson is always talking to the Black community about cooperative economics, educating our own. It's good stuff. But then we found out he doesn't even practice what he preaches.
Final question before we wrap it up. I saw something floating around, something about your daughter, potential daughter.
That is my daughter.
Okay, I want you to touch on that because I wanted you to speak on it from your perspective outside of just what's going on in the world.
Well, I would say, not to go too deep because that's
for sure.
But I would
personal.
say my situation is the perfect situation that young Black men or any Black man will find yourself in when you don't practice sexual discipline. Because see, when my daughter was born, I was happy to be a father and I was ready to be one. But I was told that if I didn't marry the mother, I wouldn't be allowed to be. You see?
I went through that.
Yes, that was a pregnancy for marriage.
Let me take a moment right here. First of all, shout out to that platform. I'm going to link their video down in the comment section. You don't get yourself into this situation if you wait until marriage to have kids. I know she looks good. She has beautiful chocolate skin, but just pump your brakes for 1 second. Because if you don't want to put a ring on it and marry her, go over to CVS and grab you a box of Lifestyles, or else she's going to absolutely ruin yours, as Dr. Umar Johnson found out.
It had nothing to do with me not wanting my child. I was ready. I was hyped. I was happy. You feel me?
Yeah.
And I said, I want this baby if you're going to let me be a father. I said, I don't want to be going to no child support, and I don't want to be going to no damn family court. And lo and behold, the very things I asked not to be subjected to, she subjected me to them.
Yeah.
You follow what I'm saying?
Got him.
And so, according to my daughter's narrative, her mother didn't share the truth with her. You felt? Her mother didn't tell her the real reason why I kept you from your father. And that was because I didn't marry her.
That's deep.
Damn.
So with that being said, I'm looking forward to building that relationship with my child. I'm patient with her because I know it can be tough to have one parent tell you, this is why your daddy wasn't there. And then for you to find out from your father, that ain't the reason I wasn't there.
That's not it.
She's the reason I wasn't there.
Yeah.
You follow what I'm saying? Yeah. So I know she's hurting because she love her mom. She loyal to her mom, right?
Yeah.
And I think she's ambivalent and conflicted because I think she feels like if I try to build a relationship with my father,
It's going to affect.
is my mother going to feel some type of way? One thing you should never do is make your child choose sides.
Yes.
That is not their business. Black parents got to stop making our sons and daughters choose who you going to be with, because that's the situation my daughter is in. I know she wants me. You feel me? I know it. But if I reach out to my father and come back home happy,
How mama gonna feel?
how mama gonna feel? She gonna feel like she betrayed her mother.
Yeah.
Why should a child feel like I betrayed my mother just to build a relationship with my father and I'm a grown woman?
Yeah. Because you said you got receipts.
But guess what? I'm not gonna blame the mom. As a man, I'm gonna blame me.
Ooh,
I should have been more sexually disciplined back then.
that's a fact.
You
That's a
understand?
fact.
I created the situation. If I didn't impregnate that woman, she could have never done that to me. So at the end of the
Talking
day,
that talk.
we as
He ain't
men
lying.
have to take responsibility
like
because
that.
our demons, our bad decisions, our lack of sexual discipline is eroding the foundation of our community. These women who we're not committing to, they're teaching our kids to hate us.
True.
And that's our fault. What they doing is wrong. But if we never sowed the seed in the first place, we could have never gave them a reason to do it. And so now you got a whole generation of young Black girls who hate men. Some of them going to get turned into lesbians
All right, he
because
going
they've been
too far. Let me pause
indoctrinated
this.
by their mother.
All right, he going too far. I don't know about all of that. Dr. Umar got, I don't want to say exposed. It was revealed to the public that Dr. Umar Johnson had a daughter. As long as I've known about Dr. Umar Johnson, probably 15 years now, I've never heard him mention a kid, never heard him mention a baby mom. I have heard him talk about the fact that he wants multiple wives. He doesn't want to settle down with one woman. But his daughter comes out at the beginning of this year, late last year, and says, This guy that y'all think is somebody has been a stranger to me my entire life. I said, there's no way. Not Dr. Umar Johnson that's always preaching about family and the black community and needing to come together. I almost couldn't believe it because, people will post anything online. It doesn't necessarily have to be true. They'll literally say anything. And if it's hot, people are going to run with it. So he started getting called a deadbeat father, a grifter. People were waiting for a ball like this to drop so they could find a chink in Dr. Umar Johnson's armor. There's been this trend going around on social media where people are saying, ask your dad his side of the story. Because men lie, women lie. And when you only get one side of the truth and everybody has their own truth, it's going to make you look at your parents sideways. The parent that you feel like abandoned you. That girl's probably thinking, how is this dude, Dr. Umar Johnson, all on the internet telling people to get the community right, build a strong family, but he abandoned his own kid? That's the narrative. But based on what he's saying here, that daughter had a sad excuse for a mother. How do you let your kid go her entire life watching her dad on the internet, doing whatever it is that he's doing, and you point the finger at him and say, that's the bad guy. You paint him out to be the bad guy because your feelings are so hurt that you wouldn't let her grow up with her father. Now she's in her 20s on the internet crying out for some sort of acknowledgement. We talk about bad fathers. Fathers that turn their back on their kids, on the kids that they help create. But what we don't talk about is the moms that poison the minds of these kids. And right now, I'm thinking about the situation between DDG and Halle Bailey. We're watching this stuff play out in real time online. Just imagine what that kid sees and what that kid hears. Haley went down to the courts and got a TRO, a temporary restraining order, which I agree with. If the things that she alleged were happening, absolutely, she deserves that. And now he's only getting to see his kid for supervised visits for 6 hours, one time a week. This is how you end up in a situation where the kid has been isolated from their dad, growing up thinking that he doesn't want a relationship. But in reality, the mom has been using the kid as a bargaining chip with the help of the court, child support, family law. Nobody is exonerated though. Dr. Umar Johnson, he admitted it. He said it. I absolutely made a horrible decision in who he was laying down with, and then decided to put a baby in her. She let you know, hey, I'm looking for marriage. I'm looking for security and commitment. And when she couldn't get it, she twisted your arm and manipulated the situation. But you only get there if you didn't go down to CVS, if you didn't pick up some lifestyles and now you're trapped. You guys know I'm always rooting for marriage. You can have as much fun as you want in the streets, but at the very least, don't bring a kid into the world. Don't bring a kid into the world and leave them parentless because of your decision making, your poor choices. I spoke out against Anthony Edwards too. He has a 1-year-old kid in court trying to pay all the child support so he doesn't have to see the kid or speak to the mom again. What part of the game is that? You got the maturity to clap her cheeks, but you were supposedly tricked into being a dad. That math is off. Dr. Umar Johnson's daughter is 22 now. So I get the sentiment when she was younger, she was kept away from you. She was brainwashed, whatever the storyline is. I get that you didn't want to marry her mom. You said, hey, we can have this baby as long as you don't extort me. And she did anyway. So that kind of distanced you from your kid, from your daughter. But she's an adult now. And she has made the first move to reach out by making that video online. There's no excuse for that. If you wanted to be there, you should have been there over the past 4 years. Those are my thoughts. If you like the video, subscribe to me back here for the next conversation. If you have something to say, let the world know. This is the place for discourse. Until next time, peace.